Hi Infotech students, today we're going to be working on lesson 7, which is all about creating smart art graphics. So the skills that we're going to learn today are adding smart art to a slide and modifying smart art. Um, so first it tells us to go ahead and open up our student data files for lesson 7, and should open up Litware is what it's called. Alrighty. Let's see, I'm going to enable editing, and then I need to save this as in my Infotech PowerPoint Lesson 7 folder as Litware Final. And it tells us to go to slide 3 and click the Insert a Smart Art Graphic icon, which is right here. It says the Choose a Smart Art Graphic dialog box opens, and I want to select Hierarchy over in the type list on the left side of the dialog box. And then we're going to click the first layout in the first row, the organization chart. And it says read the description of the organization chart layout in the right pane of the dialog box. It says used to show hierarchical information or reporting relationships in an organization. The assistant shape and the org chart hanging layouts are available with this layout. We're going to click OK to insert the chart. The chart appears on the slide. It should look similar to figure 7-2. Tells us to save the presentation. Alright, right here it talks about top level, which is typically occupied by the name of a person or department at the head of an organization. Subordinates are persons or dependents or departments who report to the top level entry. And an assistant is a person who reports directly to a staff member or usually appears on a separate level. Alright, so we're going to click the text pane button on the Smart Art Tools Design tab. And it says you can also click the arrow on the far left of the organization's border to open the text pane. So, alright, so we want to have that open. And at the top level, we're going to type Ted Hicks to enter the name in the top level shape. Notice that as you type, the text in the text pane appears in the top shape, and the text automatically resizes to fit the shape. Click in the bullet item below Ted Hicks in the text pane, and we're going to type Rose Lang. Rose Lang is an assistant to Ted Hicks, and as such has an assistant shape on the level between the top level shape and the subordinate shapes. It says click in the next bullet in the text pane, and we're going to type Marcus Short. Marcus Short is a subordinate to Ted Hicks. It says do not press enter after typing the names because that inserts a new shape. If you accidentally do, you can click the undo button on the quick access toolbar to undo the addition. In the next shape, we're going to type Ellen Camp. And in the last bulleted item, we're going to type Pat Kramer. It says to click the X to close the text pane button to hide it. You will complete the text entry by typing directly in shapes. So we're going to click just to the right of the name Hicks in the top level shape. So you want your insertion point right to the right of that. And we'll press enter. And we're going to type director. Okay, notice that the text size adjusts in all shapes to account for the additional entry in the top level shape. We're going to click after Lang and press enter, and we'll type assistant director. Okay, and then it says use the same process to type the title Reading Products for Marcus Short. Oops. And linguistics, products for Ellen Camp, and writing products for Pat Kramer. It says click away from the Smart Art to deselect it. And your slide should look similar to figure 7-4. We're going to save the presentation. Pause, leave the presentation open to use in the next exercise. Next, we're going to convert text or word art to Smart Art. So it tells us to go to slide 4, and we're going to select the bulleted list. And on the Home tab, if necessary, you need to click, and then we're going to click the Convert to Smart Art button, which is right here. PowerPoint displays the gallery. We're going to click the More Smart Art Graphics list, and I want you to select Cycle, and then we're going to choose Block Cycle, which is the third layout in the first row. So here's Block Cycle. Okay, and then we're going to click OK. The bulleted list is converted to a cycle graphic. It says, take note, you may notice that the text in the shapes is quite small. It tells us to go to slide 1 and triple click the developer orientation word art to select it. Alright, and then on the Home tab, we're going to click the Convert to Smart Art button, and we're going to click Vertical Bulleted List. The first layout in the first row. Oh, I guess it's that one. Okay. And then it tells us to save the presentation. Alright. Next, we're going to modify Smart Art and apply a style to Smart Art. So we're going to go to slide 3, and once again, click once on the Smart Art graphic to select it. Take care to select the Smart Art itself. Don't select a particular shape. Oops, so I selected this. I want to make sure that I'm only selecting the whole list. Okay. And then on the Smart Art Tools Design tab, we're going to click the More button in the Smart Art Styles group. And the gallery appears. It says click the Inset style. Which appears to be this one. It's the second style in the first row of the 3D section. PowerPoint applies the style. It tells us to go to slide 1 and click on the Smart Art object, and then repeat steps 2 through 4 to apply the same style. So we're going to choose Inset. Alright. And then we're going to go to slide 4, and we're going to click the Smart Art graphic again. And we're also going to choose Inset. Okay. Save the presentation. Still using Litware Final, this time we're going to apply a color theme to a Smart Art graphic. It tells us to go to slide 3 and click the Smart Art graphic to select it. Make sure you're not clicking on individual objects inside the Smart Art. We're going to choose the Change Colors button, and we're going to click the fourth style in the Colorful section. colorful range accent colors 4 to 5. So it's this one. PowerPoint applies theme colors differentiated by level. Next, we're going to go to slide 4. And we're going to choose the Smart Art graphic, and we're going to choose change colors. And it says to click the first style in the colorful section. PowerPoint uses theme colors to apply different tints to each shape. We're going to click save. Alright, next we're going to change the Smart Art layout. So we're going to click the Smart Art graphic on slide 4. And we're going to click the More button on the Layouts group. Alright, it tells us to find the continuous cycle, which is this one. Okay, PowerPoint applies a new cycle layout to the current chart. Okay, your slide should look similar to figure 7-8. It tells us to save this presentation. Take note, it is also possible to convert one type of Smart Art to another. Alright, so we're still using Litware Final. We're going to go to slide 3, and it says to click the Smart Art graphic to select it, making sure not to select specific shapes within it, but the outer edge. And we're going to choose Smart Art Tools Design tab, and we're going to click the last shape in the last row, Pat Kramer, to select it. And we're going to choose the Add Shape drop-down arrow. Okay, PowerPoint displays a menu of options for adding a shape relative to the current shape. And we're going to click Add Shape below. PowerPoint adds a subordinate shape to the Pat Kramer shape. Okay, we're going to type Hannah Wong in the new shape and press enter and type product coordinator. Okay, then click away from the graphic to deselect it. The slide should look similar to figure 7-9. It tells us to select Hannah Wong's shape, and on the Smart Art Tools Design tab, we're going to click Add Shape drop down arrow. Oops, accidentally click. I'm going to click the drop down arrow, and I'm going to click Add Shape below. Whoops, undo. Add Shape below. Okay, PowerPoint adds a subordinate shape, and we're going to type Alan Morgan, then press enter, and we're going to type software design. Okay, with Alan Morgan's shape still selected, we're going to click the add shape drop down arrow, and we're going to choose add shape after. PowerPoint adds a shape on the same level, and we'll type Kyle Porter package design. Click away from your graphic to deselect it, and your PowerPoint slide should look similar to figure 7-10, which it does. Save the presentation, and we're going to go on to removing a shape. So it says to go to slide 4 and click the Smart Art graphic to select it. We're going to click the Update Shape to select it. Make sure you select the shape and not the text within it. So if I click inside, I'm selecting the text. I want to make sure I'm selecting the actual shape. We're going to press the Delete key. Okay, PowerPoint removes the shape and reconfigures the Smart Art graphic. We're going to save the presentation. Next, it tells us to go to slide 3, and we're going to click the Smart Art graphic to select it. Make sure you select the entire graphic, and we're going to click the Smart Art Tools Design tab if not already selected. And we'll click the right to left button to create a graphic group. PowerPoint flips the graphic horizontally so that the shapes on the right side are now on the left side. We're going to click the top level, Ted Hicks. Make sure you select the shape. Don't select the text within it. Okay. And we're going to click the layout button in the create graphics group. So the layout button is right here. And we're going to choose left hanging. Okay. The subordinate shapes are arranged vertically below the top level shape rather than horizontally. Okay, which should look similar to figure 7-11. We're going to click the layout button again, and this time we're going to choose standard to restore the previous layout. It tells us to select Hannah Wong, and we're going to click the layout button, and we're going to choose both. The subordinate shapes display horizontally rather than vertically. It tells us to save our presentation. And next we're going to be reordering shapes. So it tells us to go to slide 4 and click the slide Smart Art graphic, and we're going to choose the testing shape. On the Smart Art Tools Design tab, it tells us to click the Move Down arrow. The shape moves one position in a clockwise direction. Note that in this example, Move Down actually moves the shape upward in the graphic. Okay, we're going to click the Move Up button. The shape moves one position in a counterclockwise direction. Save the presentation. Next, we're going to be promoting and demoting shapes. So it tells us to click on the Smart Art graphic on slide 3 to select it, and we're going to choose text pane. And in the text pane, we're going to click the Hannah Wong bulleted item. Notice in the text pane that this item is indented below Pat Kramer. We're going to click the Promote button. Okay, and Hannah's shape jumps up one level, and her two subordinates are also promoted. It says click the text pane button to hide the text pane again. And we're going to save our presentation. Alright, it tells us to go to slide 4, and we're going to click the Smart Art graphic to select it. It tells us to click the More button in the Layouts group. And this time we're going to choose Process. Which is... Click the More button in the Layouts group. Oh, we're going to click More Layouts, sorry. And then we're going to choose Process over here on the left. And then scroll down and click Upward Arrow. In the center pane, third row from the bottom. Oh, would be this one. Okay, it tells us to click OK. PowerPoint converts the SmartArt graphic to an upward arrow. And we're going to save the presentation. Okay, next it says to select the SmartArt graphic on slide 4 if it's not already selected. And we're going to click the Needs Marketing Analysis circle, the circle nearest the thin end of the arrow graphic, to select it. Make sure you select the circle and not the text. Okay, so make sure the dots are around the circle. We're going to click the SmartArt Tools Format tab, and we're going to click the larger button in the Shapes group twice. 1, 2, to increase the shape size. Click the rollout shape, and then we're going to click the smaller button. So go to the SmartArt Tools Format tab. We're going to click smaller button in the Shapes group once to decrease the shape size. Click away from the graphic to deselect it, and then we're going to save our changes. You can also change shape appearance by selecting a completely new shape. Right-click a shape, click Change Shape, and then select the desired shape from the Shapes gallery. Alright, next we're going to change text formatting. So it says click on slide 4 and select the outer frame of the SmartArt graphic, not a specific shape within it. And on the Home tab, we're going to click the Font Size drop-down arrow. Oops, and we're going to choose 20. PowerPoint changes the size of all text in the graphic to 20. We're going to click the Needs and Marketing Analysis text box and drag its border to reduce its width slightly. So that the word market moves completely to the second line. It tells us to click the Design Proof of Concept text box and expand its width so that the word proof displays completely. Alright, with the Design Proof contact box still selected, press the right arrow key on the keyboard 3 times to move the text box slightly to the right so that the text does not overlap the circle shape. So 1, I'm hitting my right arrow, that's 1 time, 2 times, and 3 times. Okay, widen the development box slightly to the right so that development fits on a single line, and then move the text box slightly to the right. 1, 2, 2 taps of the right arrow key. Move the testing box slightly to the right. 1 time is fine. The completed slide is shown in figure 7-2 or 12. Go to slide 3 and we're going to click the SmartArt graphic to select it. It says to click the outside edge of Ted Hicks, and we're going to click the font color drop down arrow, and we're going to choose black text 1. The text in that shape is now easier to read against the light green fill. It says to click the bold button on the Home tab. All text in the shape is bolded. Then click away from the graphic to deselect it. And we're going to save the presentation. Next, we're going to convert SmartArt. So it tells us to go to slide 4 and select the SmartArt shape. And we're going to click the Convert button on the SmartArt Tools Design tab. And we're going to select, then click Convert to Text. From the menu, the SmartArt is converted to a bulleted list. Go to slide 3 and select the SmartArt object on the Smart Art Tools Design tab. We're going to select Convert and then click Convert to Shapes. The diagram changes to a set of shapes. Okay. It says to click inside the diagram to confirm that Smart Art tabs on the ribbon does not appear. So when I click on these, no longer do I have Smart Art tabs. It's now a Drawing Tools Format tab. Click one of the diagram shapes and notice that Drawing Tools Format tabs becomes available, indicating it is a drawn shape object. We're going to save the presentation and then it says to close the file and exit PowerPoint. Good job, we are finished with lesson 7.